Hey crafty people, it's Tasha. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm taking part in a video hop to celebrate Altenew's recent release, and I will have all of the details for the hop and where you need to go next, as well as the giveaway down in the description below, so please check that out. So today I'm going to be making cards using just 2 of the awesome sentiment stamps sets that are in this release. So we're going for very clean and simple and quite sort of graphic card designs using just the sentiment as your focal point. So I've got the large OK stamp in my Misty. I've prepped it with my stamp conditioning tool, and then I'm going to stamp it down with some. These are the inks from the Tranquility set. I will have everything that I use linked below. So I've stamped out that OK. I know it looks a little bit patchy at the moment, but that will smooth out as the inks dry. And then I've added this everything will be stamp above the OK, and I've stamped that in a darker ink, and just like how those 2 different fonts look against each other. Then we're going to move on to our next card. Yes, I really am just stamping sentiments. So it's like a 3-piece stamp that creates the word happiness, and it just, I thought happiness, sun, so those are the colours that I went for. So I've stamped the middle one first because I thought that would be the easiest way to line everything up. Then I'm going to add that top one and stamp that in yellow, and then I'm going to use a darker orange for just that little bit at the bottom there that completes it. So in order to complete this one, I've grabbed out the Bold Sentiments stamp set, and I absolutely love these, and I'm going to stamp a couple of those to create that full sentiment. So, and then for the upper bit of that sentiment, I've just masked off a little bit of that sentiment because I didn't want to cut these ones at all. So I've just sort of masked a little bit off so that it creates that full sentiment in the end. So it's sending happiness just for you, which I think is so sweet. So next I've grabbed out the This Is Your Day stamp, and I'm going to turn my card round to be a landscape one this time, and I'm going to do some ombre stamping on this stamp. So I've added some Pinkalicious to the bottom portion, and then I'm just using I've just got like an old rag thing that I use to clean my stamps, and I've just used that to dab off the very upper edge of where that ink is sitting, because I don't want any harsh lines. I want it to just sort of naturally become like an ombre. So we've got fresh lemon on the top, and then I've decided to add a little bit of a darker pink to the very bottom, so this is Rubelite, just for a little bit more contrast, and then I've made sure that whilst I was stamping I have crossed over the colours so that they sort of blend with each other. I did add a little bit of the maple yellow into the centre again, just for a little bit more contrast, and I love how that turns out. It's really, really cool. So I let that dry for a little bit so that I didn't get any bleeding when I then stamped the second part. So this just adds a shadow. I added that in black, and I think that really pops. I just think that it's so, I just love that. I love that one. So I'm now lining up a couple of the sentiments that are in the bold sentiment set, and I'm just going to use these to finish my sentiment. And I like that you've got those lines that run horizontally through the "This is your day" stamp, and those are just being continued on with these blocky bold sentiments that I've got there. So I used the pink, and then I did one in black as well to tie in the shadow, and I love how that worked. Love it. So next we've got the "You Can Do It" stamp. This is a three-part, I believe, stamp. No, it's 4-part, because you've got this shadow portion, which I've stamped in obsidian. I did stamp it a couple of times because I think I'm needing a new ink pad. So I wanted to make sure it was really, really strong, bold black. And again, with this, I let that dry for a little bit before I moved on to these next steps, just to avoid it bleeding anywhere. So you have, for this one, you've got the shadow, and then the actual letters themselves are created with 3 different stamps. So you can, you could go anywhere with the colours. I wanted to use different colour schemes on each one of these cards that I'm making today, just to show you some ideas about how you can use it. And I wanted to test myself as well, because I don't often have just a sentiment being the focal point of my cards. So I stamped a sub-sentiment from the same bold sentiment set, and then to finish the cards I just matted them on some coloured cardstock that matched, just to add a little bit more colour. I absolutely love the yellow border around that one. I think it's so happy and brilliant. I sort of offset the white panel on here on an orange A2 panel, and then the 2 that I've got in blues, I've sort of stuck those slightly differently. I will have details and close-up photos and everything over on my blog, which I will have linked below. So don't forget that this is a video hop. I will have the details of all of that in the description below, along with the link to the next person in this hop. I hope that you like the cards. I absolutely love these couple of sentiment stamp sets that have come out in this release. And yeah, that bold sentiments is definitely going to be my new favourite go-to stamp. I love them. So let me know what you think. Do you go clean and simple, or is it all sort of like me? Is it a bit out of your comfort zone? But I hope you'll give it a go. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I would love it if you'd please hit the button. And I hope that you have a lovely, happy, safe and wonderful week. Stay crafty. Bye.